It's not the way that we normally do estate planning. It certainly isn't ideal. Madison, what do you see as some of the problems with this approach to estate planning?
Right. So one of the things we always espouse usually is that crisis planning is way more expensive than preventative estate planning. So in this case, he's filing for a conservatorship. Then there's another step in order to get a estate plan written. Then he has to get that approved by the judge. So it's 3 or 4 filings, which is 3 or 4 times the cost. Plus conservatorships are just wildly more expensive than even just a probate typically over time. So it's a much bigger undertaking than if they had just set up an estate plan.
There's more court process, more attorneys involved.
Yeah, which it takes a lot longer.
Up. Yeah, and it takes a lot longer. I guess the last thing that maybe bothers me about this also is that we don't really know. He has to write an estate plan for her based on what he thinks she would want. It might not be what really she would have wanted. I'm sure he'll do his best.
There's always the possibility that she hasn't communicated something to him at some point during their marriage that she felt strongly about. Wanting to include a charity or a person or what have you. Jewelry to her best friend. Something of that nature that he just didn't know.
Yeah. So that's not ideal. Okay. So the bottom line here, the bottom line message here, Madison, what would you say?
Is to get that estate plan done. And we encourage this of our own clients, but in general, even if you don't know all the details, you can still get it done and then make updates later. So if you're like, I want to, provide for my children and avoid probate and avoid conservatorship, that's great. If you're like, I'm on the fence about including my grandchildren or a charity, let's just get started and get it done. And then you can make that change later. You can always change your estate plan until you lose capacity. And then this happens. Right. So, we'd like, and then even then, that doesn't mean they're going to make change just because you're incapacitated. That's not typical. But you at least want to have something in place.
Yeah. The good and done is better than perfect in your head.
Right. Yeah. It's fluid. Things change, and we totally get that. But there were basic documents that could have been in place that would have avoided this conservatorship altogether.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay. A very unfortunate but interesting situation. Thank you, Madison. Thank you all for joining us. I hope you learned some valuable lessons and, also were a little bit entertained. And we look forward to connecting with you next time.
Thank you for joining us today for another episode of Absolute Trust Talk Live. If you enjoyed listening in, then don't forget to subscribe. You can find us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you may listen by searching Absolute Trust Talk. While you're there, we would also love for you to leave us a review. And then why not share your favorite episodes with family, friends, or colleagues too? You can find all of our shows and corresponding show notes by visiting absolutetrustcounsel.com. You'll also find a variety of other free resources, including our ebooks, videos, blogs, presentations, and more. If you need help with your estate planning or administration, we also offer a free discovery call to help get the process started. You can find more information on booking your session by visiting absolutetrustcounsel.com/scheduling. Don't forget to keep an eye out for our next live episode. If you join us for the broadcast, you can submit questions during the show. But if not, don't worry. You can always get in touch with us by sending a quick message to info@absolutetrustcounsel.com. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you soon.